Jesus, that was hilarious. Can't believe I ran into you in a place like that, Layla.
Excuse me, who is this?
Come on, it's me, Joseph.
Oh, Joseph.
What's with that cold reaction? Your ex-husband reaches out after all this time and that's how you react? You should be happier.
Honestly, getting a message from you doesn't make me happy at all. It's been so long since I've heard from you that I almost forgot you even existed.
Wow, that's harsh. We were married once, remember?
So, what do you want?
Oh, nothing in particular, really.
Huh?
I just noticed that I walked right past you and Emily. It was kind of nostalgic, so I thought I'd message you. What's it been? Like 2 years?
Oh, so that was you earlier, huh, Joseph?
Oh, don't act like you didn't notice. You saw me too, didn't you? Still got that gloomy look on your face, huh? A broke single mom? How pathetic. I can't help but feel sorry for you. You've had a tough time since we split, haven't you? I felt sorry for you as I walked by. Well, good luck with that.
I thought, what's with this creepy old guy smirking at me as I walked past? Never imagined it'd be you.
Huh? Creepy? What's that supposed to mean? That's rude.
Creepy is creepy. I mean, smiling like that and looking at me like I'm on display, that's not normal. And finding out it was my ex-husband who cheated on me with my sister and divorced me 2 years ago, now that's enough to make anyone go, ugh. Just thinking about it gives me chills.
See? That attitude is why I left you. If you'd been a little more sweet and charming, things wouldn't have turned out like this.
I don't care if you think I'm cute or not. There's no benefit to me even if you did. Did you really think a lame insult like that would make me upset? I don't have the time to react to your childish provocations. I bet you felt like you came out on top when you cheated on me with my sister and threw me and our 2-year-old daughter Emily out of the house. But it seems you were way off. Do you not remember how everyone around you sided with me and cut ties with you? Friends, relatives, co-workers, pretty much everyone ditched you two and you had to leave town. I can't shake the image of you two with those emotional faces as you made your way out of town. It was such a pathetic sight. I'll never forget how pitiful you both looked.
Shut up. That's all in the past, okay? I'm happy now, and that's all that matters.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, that's right. Unlike you, I've got a much better paying job than some broke single mom like you. I'm living the good life.
Oh, really? So what? Then maybe don't send me a ridiculous message just because we happen to cross paths. Are you bored or something?
What? Like I've got time to waste.
Busy people don't send dumb messages like this.
What the hell? I was just trying to give you a little update on my life.
I don't want to hear updates about your life. And assuming I'm broke? That's seriously annoying. Honestly, this is such a pain. Leave me alone.
What's with that attitude toward your ex-husband?
I can treat you however I want. And by the way, an ex-husband is just another stranger. Bye now. Don't ever contact me again.
Hey Layla, how've you been? Hey, don't ignore me.
What do you want this time? I told you not to contact me anymore, didn't I?
Oh, come on. We were married, remember?
You must really have too much time on your hands. I'm super busy right now. If you don't have a reason to talk, I'm ending this.
All right. Hold on. So you're living in a short-term rental in Riverside now, huh?
What?
Didn't expect you to be living in a place like that.
Wait a second. How do you know my address?
2 years ago, after the divorce, you went back to your parents' house with Emily. When did you move? And why are you living in a short-term rental anyway?
Did you seriously follow me? Why would you go that far? What's your goal here?
The last time we ran into each other, it was in front of that small local grocery store, right? That kind of place is usually only frequented by locals. And I saw green onions sticking out of your bag, so it wasn't some vacation. It was a regular grocery run. You were clearly living your day-to-day life. This suggested that you probably lived close by. So I figured you'd come back to that store again soon. I started casually keeping an eye on it during my breaks from work, and bingo.
Bingo? This is seriously creepy. You're acting like a stalker.
Don't say things that make me sound bad. It's just that my hunch happened to be right. That's all. So, why are you living in a short-term rental? What's wrong with a regular apartment?
Why do I have to explain my life to you? It's none of your business.
The fact that you're so defensive just confirms for me that you're hiding something. You're hiding something, aren't you?
Even if I told you, it wouldn't change anything, would it? And honestly, I have no obligation to tell you anything. Actually, I don't want to tell you. Leave me alone.
Ah, I get it. You got kicked out of your parents' house, didn't you? You had nowhere else to go, so you moved here, hoping for a chance to get back together with me. I mean, this city is close to my workplace after all.
Excuse me? What are you even talking about? You're not making any sense.
No, think about it. If we got back together, your life would stabilize, and Emily would be happy too. Deep down, you're thinking the same thing, right? You probably didn't sign a lease for a long-term apartment because you were already planning to live with me again after we reconciled. Smart move. I'd expect nothing less from my ex-wife.
That is absolutely not the case. Getting back together has never crossed my mind, not even for a second. In fact, I don't want anything to do with you. And for the record, Emily has never once said she wants to see you.
Oh, stop pretending. You're still totally hung up on me. If you want, I could give you a chance. Right now, I'll even generously consider taking you back.
Thanks for the offer, but I'll pass this time.
Oh, no need to be so modest. You haven't been able to forget about me since the divorce, right?
It's not modesty, it's because you're so gross.
What?
Bye now. Don't ever contact me again.
Jesus, you're so stubborn. Well, whatever. I know how you really feel. Hey, Layla, what's going on here? There's something I need to check with you. Pick up the phone.
Gosh, what is it this time?
You said the other day you were living in a short-term rental in Riverside, right?
Yeah, so?
That's strange. You didn't move, did you? I'm sure you were in Unit 203. I double-checked it several times. What the hell is going on?
What? What do you mean, what's going on? What's your deal? Wait a minute. Did you go to my apartment?
Yeah, I did.
Jesus, you were sick. Are you serious?
Why weren't you there? I took the time to come over and see you. I ended up knocking on some random woman's door, and it turned into a huge scene. She called the cops on me.
What? What are you even talking about? I have no idea what's going on. What exactly happened?
You were taking too long to come to me and ask to get back together. So I got tired of waiting and decided to come to you myself.
I've told you I'm not getting back together with you. How many times do I have to say it for you to understand?
Come on, I get it. I know you need me. So I made the effort to come early in the morning, and just as I got there, a woman came out of Unit 203 to take out the trash. I thought it was you.
You thought she was me because she looked like me? Was her face identical or something?
Well, I didn't actually see her face.
Then why would you mistake her for me?
She was wearing loose loungewear and had a hat pulled low over her face. From behind, I figured it had to be you and didn't question it. When she finished taking out the trash and was heading back into her apartment, I decided to surprise her by hugging her from behind. And then she screamed, called the cops on me, and I ended up getting questioned. It was a disaster.
You're such an idiot. Hugging a stranger like that? That's the lowest.
How was I supposed to know? She came out of Unit 203, so I just assumed it was you.
That apartment? I moved out a long time ago.
Moved out? Why?
It was only a 2-week business trip. The company rented that place for me to stay during my assignment.
You've got to be kidding me. I can't believe you'd go on a business trip for work.
What's that supposed to mean?
I just couldn't imagine a plain single mom like you being assigned to something like that.
What's with that ridiculous prejudice?
So, did you take Emily with you on the trip?
Of course not. Emily stayed with my parents at their house. Taking a kid on a business trip would be almost impossible.
Hold on a second. Then who was that kid I saw? You were at the grocery store with a little girl, weren't you? Wasn't that Emily?
That was probably the daughter of an employee I worked with during the trip. She's about the same age as Emily, I think.
What? A co-worker's kid? Why were you with her?
I mentioned during the trip that I planned to cook as much as possible, so one of the employees kindly offered to take me to a nearby grocery store. She was really nice. She brought her daughter along, and on the way out, she realized she'd forgotten something and went back into the store. While she was inside, I offered to watch her daughter until she came back. That's probably when you passed by and saw me. So you assumed I was with Emily.
No way. Are you kidding me? So this was all just some huge misunderstanding?
Honestly, I had no idea you were living in that town where I was on a business trip until you mentioned it.
Wait, really? I thought you'd move here to be closer to me.
Of course not.
But you want to get back together with me, right?
How many times do I have to tell you? I have absolutely no interest in getting back together with you. Stop spouting nonsense about us reconciling or me being broke. It's ridiculous.
But single moms are always broke, aren't they? Getting back together with me would make your life so much easier. You don't have to put on a tough act.
Enough already. You're seriously disgusting.
So, where are you living now?
Like I'd ever tell you. Bye.
Hey, Layla, what the hell is going on? How many times are you going to humiliate me? Layla, answer me.
What?
I went to your parents' house and they called the cops on me. Some strangers came out of nowhere and I was shocked.
Huh? You went to my parents' house? Why? Wait a second. I don't understand. I never told you my parents' address.
What are you talking about? I went there a few times before the divorce. There's no way I'd forget it in just 2 years. It used to be my in-laws' house, so I knew my way around. So I didn't even ring the doorbell and just walked in, only to find strangers living there. When I shouted in surprise, they called me a burglar and called the cops.
What were you thinking?
What's going on here? I'm the one who should have called the police. I found strangers living in your parents' house.
That's not their house anymore.
What?
They moved 4 months ago, so of course, strangers live there now.
What? Moved?
The house you knew as my parents' place was a rental, but I built a new house, and my parents and Emily moved in with me.
What? You built a house?
Why are you so shocked?
Because you're a single mom.
And?
There's no way a single mom like you could afford to build a house. A broke single mom dreaming about owning a home? That's hilarious. But seriously, how are you planning to handle a mortgage? There's no way someone like you could even get approved for a loan. That's just common sense.
Listen, the idea that single moms are automatically broke? That's just a stereotype. Stop making those kinds of assumptions.
What? Not broke, you say? No way.
I'm sure there are families out there struggling financially, and not just single moms, of course. But in my case, I've always worked, and I'm still working hard now. In fact, my annual income was about $20,000 higher than yours even 2 years ago when we divorced.
$20,000 more? No way.
Honestly, I'm more surprised you didn't even know my income. We were married after all.
Well, yeah, but you took maternity leave for Emily and then quit your job without telling me. So, of course, I assumed you were a stay-at-home mom. I couldn't believe you just quit your job without discussing it with me. That's the kind of irresponsible behavior that made me decide to divorce you.
I didn't quit my job. I went back to work after my maternity leave. I'm pretty sure I told you that.
What? You didn't quit? You went back to work? No, I never saw you commuting to your job. Even right before the divorce, you were still at home all the time.
Wait a second. Did you think I was going back to work right after Emily turned 2?
Hell yeah. You said you'd go back to work after she turned 2.
I did say that, but to be precise, I went back starting the first of the following month.
What? The following month?
I told you that ahead of time, and I even wrote it in big letters on the calendar. Didn't you see it? So you misunderstood, and then used that misunderstanding as an excuse to marry my sister, who you were already cheating with, and kick me and Emily out of the house. Unbelievable.
No way. I really thought I had a solid reason to divorce you because you quit your job without telling me.
Seems like you didn't actually listen to anything, huh?
What?
I explained everything clearly to you, but you twisted it to suit your narrative. For the record, I went back to work just 2 days after you threw us out. But your ridiculous tantrum made it nearly impossible for me to prepare for that new phase of my life.
What? 2 days later?
That's right.
Wait, so are you still working at the same company as back then?
Yes. Thanks to that, work is going well.
So that means you're making a decent salary now? The company you worked for always had pretty good benefits.
Yeah, at the very least, I'm not broke.
Hey, how much are you making at that company?
I don't need to share specific numbers with someone who's just an outsider. You have no right to pry into my income.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I can't help being curious.
All right, I think that's enough. Talking to you is a waste of time. I still have chores to finish, and I need to cook dinner for Emily.
Hey, wait. Actually, I broke up with your sister. We're not together anymore.
I see. And?
Aren't you surprised?
Not really. And what does that have to do with me?
There's nothing standing between us anymore. I want to remarry you, start fresh with you and Emily, and build a happy home together. Come on, let's give it another shot.
Why don't you just be honest?
What do you mean?
You got laid off from your job, became unemployed, and as soon as that happened, my sister dumped you. Then, you couldn't pay the rent on your apartment and got evicted. Now you're homeless with nowhere to go. You don't have a family to turn to, and you're wandering aimlessly. So, desperate and clinging to the smallest hope, you're trying to force a reconciliation. After making all kinds of wrong assumptions, you've been relentlessly bothering me to get back together. Why not just admit it?
Wait, no, that's not true.
Oh? Am I wrong?
Well, what you said is pretty much true, but it's not my fault I ended up like this. The company's poor performance led to the layoffs. I didn't do anything wrong.
Don't bother trying to cover it up. I already heard everything from my sister. Not just about your current situation, but also the real reason you got laid off.
What? She told you all that?
Yes. You were caught repeatedly using company property for personal purposes. And when your boss found out, you were terminated for cause, weren't you? To avoid damaging the company's reputation, they called it a layoff. But in reality, you were fired. On top of that, there's a possibility you could be charged with embezzlement. My sister couldn't see any future with someone like you, so she got fed up and left. That about sums it up, right?
Well, yeah, that's basically it, but wait, since when were you in contact with your sister?
Actually, she reached out to me. I had blocked her 4 years ago, but with how erratic your behavior was, I figured she might get involved somehow, so I unblocked her. And just as I thought, the first thing she said was, just like you, I don't have a home. She then explained her situation and yours. It appeared that she had been struggling solo and was pretty much at her wit's end. I just pieced together what she told me, added a bit of deduction, and laid it out all for you. Looks like I was spot on. So spot on that you can't even deny it.
Well, yeah, fine. You're right. Everything you said is true. I have nowhere to live. No money either. So stop overcomplicating things and just take me back. Support me. That'll solve everything, won't it? And as a reward, I'll let you have another kid with me. Do you want a boy or a girl?
No thanks. Who would want that kind of reward? That's the worst punishment imaginable. The thought of having another child with someone like you is horrifying.
What? You should be honored to have me as the father of your kids. Since honesty isn't your thing, I'm stepping in to help you out. You should be grateful.
After all the times I've called you gross and disgusting, you're still clinging to these delusions? Do you have zero ability to learn? Seriously, you're so creepy. I'd rather live alone than spend another second with you.
What? You hate me that much?
Yes, absolutely. Please, just stop. I don't want to have anything more to do with you.
But if things stay like this, I'll seriously end up homeless. I spent almost $200 on travel just to get to your old family home. Look, could you lend me some money, just a little?
So you wasted $200. Unbelievable. I can't even understand why you'd go that far just to try and see me.
Please, I won't ask for reconciliation anymore. Just help me find a job and a place to live. I don't want to end up on the streets.
What? Is that what you are asking me? Don't you think that's a bit much?
I don't have anyone else to turn to. My friends, my relatives, they've all abandoned me. You're the only one I have left. If you just help me out, I promise, I'll never bother you or Emily again for the rest of my life. So please, help me.
Oh, never bother us again? That's an appealing offer.
I'll even put it in writing if you want. We can make it official, with a legal document or whatever you need.
All right. If that's the condition, I might consider it. It's the same workplace I introduced to my sister, though. Is that okay? Your placement will probably be somewhere far from here, but that'll depend on luck. Also, I might add one more condition on my end. Depending on what it is, the deal might change.
If it gets me a job and a place to stay, I'll agree to anything. Just help me, please.
All right, give me a moment. Sorry for the late reply.
No problem. You're going to introduce me to a job, right?
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Layla. This means I won't have to end up homeless.
Do you know the nature park in Riverside? The one with the big pond?
Oh yeah, I know it. It's near the high school I went to. My friends and I used to skip class and take naps there.
I see. That spot must hold a lot of sentimental value for you. Tomorrow morning at 9, stand near the entrance to the parking lot on the south side of the park. Someone from the workplace I recommended will come to pick you up there.
Got it. Tomorrow morning at 9, right? Just to confirm, if I go to that meeting spot, they'll set me up with a job and a place to stay, right?
Yes, just as promised. Oh, and make sure to bring your ID just in case. Also, it might be a good idea to pack a change of clothes. You might be taken directly to the dormitory.
Dormitory? Right, because they're providing a place to live too. That's great. I really appreciate it.
For the details, you can ask the person from the workplace.
All right, I got it. Thanks so much.
Bye.
Layla, what's going on?
What?
You sent me to the most ridiculous workplace. I showed up at the meeting spot all ready to go, and a black van pulled up. I thought, no way, but it was Rockwell Construction.
That's right, and you're the one who asked me to find you a job and a place to live, right?
Well, yeah, but why Rockwell Construction of all places?
Is there a problem? Rockwell Construction is a reputable company known for solid management in the construction industry.
It's nothing but problems. I know what kind of people work there. It's all reckless, delinquent types. A company like that is nothing but trouble.
Don't badmouth a company run by the father of one of my friends, okay? They're known for turning even the biggest slackers into responsible employees with their excellent training programs. It's one of the most trustworthy companies out there.
What? Your friend's father? Wait a second. Are you telling me you know Ava Rockwell? How are you connected to her?
Oh, you know Ava?
She was my senior in high school. Everybody in town knew who she was. She was famous. Back when I was acting out a bit, I picked a fight with her without realizing she was Rockwell Construction's daughter, and she threw me to the ground. It was terrifying. Trauma-level terrifying. How do you know someone like her?
We're mom friends.
What? Mom friends? With Ava Rockwell? You've got to be kidding me.
Our kids are different ages, but we met at a community center. Her youngest is in the same daycare as Emily. Thanks to her, I was able to catch you after I caught my sister. I'm really grateful to Ava. Oh, and you already signed the agreement to pay child support and alimony in installments from your paycheck every month. You read it before signing, didn't you? Ava does great work. I'm truly grateful.
What? Child support and alimony? Nobody told me about that.
About the conditions we talked about yesterday? Don't tell me you forgot. You were supposed to have been told. Didn't the employee who picked you up explain everything?
What? Well, they gave me a document to sign, and I did, but I barely read it.
Oh, by the way, my sister also signed a similar agreement for paying alimony.
Come on, give me a break. Why should I pay alimony to someone I'm no longer with?
Because it's still within the time frame where I can legally claim it. I'm glad I filed before it expired.
But you're doing well financially, aren't you? You're not struggling.
Nope, I'm not struggling at all.
Then don't ask for alimony. You're just taking advantage of the situation to leech off us. You're the worst.
If you cheat, paying compensation is only natural, and providing child support for your kid is your responsibility as a parent. The only one at fault here is you for trying to shirk those obligations. Take your selfish, narrow-minded ideas and let Rockwell Construction's training knock some sense into you.
Layla, I know cheating was wrong. I regret it. Please, I'm begging you, don't make me pay the alimony. I'm broke. I don't have any savings and I can't pay alimony or child support.
Oh, didn't I mention? They'll deduct it straight from your paycheck every month. Now make sure to work hard starting today.
No way. Seriously?
And so Joseph ended up working at Rockwell Construction. The job was grueling, and the senior employee's training was harsh, so he was already on the verge of tears from day one. However, with nowhere else to go, he couldn't run away. He also couldn't afford to go out and have fun, so his days are now a cycle of shuttling between the company dormitory and the work site, utterly exhausted. As promised, the alimony and child support are deducted directly from his paycheck at Rockwell Construction each month. Since Joseph would undoubtedly try to avoid paying if billed directly, having it withheld is a huge relief. For now, the company has agreed to manage his paycheck, but their long-term goal is to teach Joseph to take responsibility for his actions and face his mistakes, so he will eventually pay on his own initiative. It might take time, but after all, he is still a father. With Rockwell Construction's strict training, let's hope he becomes a decent enough person to hold his head up in society someday.
Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and leave us a comment down below. It means a lot to us. See you next time!